Hi, good morning, everybody. First of all, thanks for having me. I was definitely not expecting this many people. I think I brought 30 reports, but this is such a great surprise, and so thank you so much for having us. I'm going to be up here talking a little bit about transitional housing, and then I'll pass it over to Connie Doss, who is actually one of our clients, so you'll get to hear firsthand what transitional housing did for her. So, same thing, kind of curious how many people are familiar with transitional housing. We're located down in Ohio City, just a show of hands. Okay, good. So lots of new folks that I can tell our story to, which I love to do. Transitional housing started back in the 1980s by actually 4 nuns from St. Joseph's congregation. They worked a lot with the homeless shelters and saw the same women cycling onto the streets, into homeless shelters, back onto the streets, and really thought, what can we do for these women to get them back on their feet, get them self-sufficient, independent, working on their own. Sometimes you just need a little bit of help, a little bit of a lift, and you're good to go. So what they did was, with the help from the community, bought the Travel Lodge, located right in the heart of Ohio City, West 25th and Franklin, and transformed it into transitional housing back in 1986. And that is where we still are today, and the mission pretty much remains the same. We have 60 single occupancy rooms. It's pretty much, each room looks like what an old Travel Lodge room would look like. It's got, small room, but its own kitchenette and bathroom and everything. So we get recommendations, referrals from the homeless shelter, and we take in homeless women, and they come for all different reasons. Some women may have just outgrew the foster care system. Many come from domestic violence situations. A lot have substance abuse issues, so all different reasons that women come there. So the first thing that we do is to provide a safe environment, which of course when women are living on the street and have all those risk factors is very important. But it's not the only thing. We provide many services to them so they gain the skills and they can get back on their feet and into the community. So just a sample of some of those programs that we have within our 4 walls are job readiness. We have a 4-week training program where women learn, what skills that they've had in the past from their past jobs, how to even write a resume, how to go on an interview, how to search for jobs. 4-week intensive program to really teach them how to get back out there. And then we help them to find jobs and make connections with employers to hire these women as well. We have family programs. Many of the women do come in with children. We have a lot of children living in our building right now. Some women do not have custody of their children, so a lot of times it's trying to reunify mother and child bond and teaching these women who may have not known, what it's like to be a good role model for their children. We do things, everything from that to another side, financial literacy and learning how to plan a budget. A lot of things that we may take for granted that these women really never were taught or learned. So we teach them those skills. And we also connect them to a lot of outside services as well. Cleveland's so lucky. We have a lot of wonderful organizations, as we've seen this morning, so we're able to connect them to other places too. Our ultimate goal is for the women to find work and to move on their own permanent housing. But our work still does not stop there. After they're out on their own and in permanent housing, we do a formal 18-month follow-up. So case managers meet with them, make sure everything's going well, make sure they're paying their rent, whatever needs to be done, make sure that they have their furnishings. I'm sure all of us have moved once or twice or many times in here before, and you know how stressful that can be. So to help them with that little bump in the road is what we do as well. I can tell you it's a formal 18-month follow-up, but it goes way beyond that. We have many women who even form an alumni group. I've been at transitional housing for only 6 months, and I can tell you just in my 6 months, women who have come back from 25 years ago when we pretty much first started. And so there's an alumni group. These women formed a group and they fundraise and give back to transitional housing, which I think is one of the most neat things about the whole program is these women got so much from their time there that they want to give back. They do fundraising and they also come back to speak to the women that are currently living there. It's a really neat place. So that's the basics of what we do. We provide the safe environment, provide the programs and connect them to other services, do the follow-up, but it goes way beyond that. As you can imagine, that many women living together, you really see how they can lift each other up. they're going through the hardest times in their life, and they really do lift each other up. So I encourage all of you, we could not run without volunteers and people coming in, and a lot of those programs and classes I was talking about, volunteers give. I mean, some staff does too, but we're a small staff, so anybody that would ever want to volunteer or just come check us out, maybe after a trip to the West Side Market or something, we're welcome. Our doors are always open. But I do want to pass it over to Connie. Connie actually just moved out of transitional housing in December, I believe, just around Christmas, yeah. So this is one example. Connie came around with me a lot to do speaking presentations, and I told her when she moved she wasn't going to get out of it. So we have Connie here today, and she's just going to tell you her story and really hopefully connect you a little bit more to transitional housing. So thank you so much for having me, and here's Connie.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Connie Doss. I'm a former client of transitional housing. Excuse me, I'm a little nervous. But I'm a former client of transitional housing. I came there last year, August 2012. When I first came there, I was battling with alcohol and battling with alcohol. And I entered the program. I thought it wasn't going to be nothing at first, so I gave the program a try. I entered the SOAR program. The SOAR program is supposed to only last 3 months. It's to help us, like, I was cleaning, doing janitorial work for that whole year. The SOAR program only supposed to last for 90 days. So I talked with the director, and because of my good standing with THI, they let me work for a year. Also, at THI, they have the drug programs, they have places to set you up, and they can have tutors come in to do your GED to help you get ready for your GED. Things like that a long time ago wasn't important to me, but they are really important to me now. All I needed was a firm foundation, and that's where THI came in, and I'm very thankful that they helped me get to a point in my life that I never thought I could do by myself. So, a lot of women come through THIB, families, women with children, us single women, and what we do is we just help them feel welcome at THI when they first come in THI, because it's a scary situation. When you first come in somewhere, you be scared. So that's when we come in at. The people that's been there for a long time, they support the women that just got in, coming inside the doors. We help them bring them their things in. We welcome them, we give them a hug, we let them know if they need us, we are there. Transitional housing has been very good to me, and I don't know what I would do without transitional housing, but I was in permanent housing, and I stayed there from August to September 22nd. They called me and told me, first of all, my caseworker advocated for me because I was in the permanent housing program. In the permanent housing program, I could stay there as long as I want. That's the guidelines of the program. So my caseworker advocated for me to get a move-on voucher. The voucher's supposed to stay with the room, but she advocated for me to get her. So on December 25th, I finally moved out. I got my own place, and I love it. And I just thank you guys. I just want to thank you guys for just listening to what I have to say. And transitional housing is a wonderful place. And without nice and good people like you, hey, where would we be? And I'm just thankful for what I've been sober and clean for a year. And I just want to keep on stay on the right path, and I thank you all for listening to me and letting me talk.